if you have a solid goal and you have a solid vision, right, there will always be a drive. There's an internal drive within you that wants to get you to achieving those vision, not just for you as an entrepreneur, but to the society at large. Because sometimes when you want to, say, okay, I want to give up, then you look at what is going to be the negative impact of you not pursuing your dream,
Honestly.
to the society, because entrepreneurship is all about solving problems. One of the major challenge with manufacturing is the fact that the investors, most of them, they are looking for a quick return, right, and one with high return on investment, right? So, but in most cases, manufacturing, may not be able to give the investors,
quick return as they expect.
Yeah, unlike the guys in the, tech, sector. Most of them in the tech sector, for instance, the more they grow in the business, it looks as if their cost of acquiring customers, the cost of operation drops, right? Which further expand the profit margin. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who actually think they are entrepreneurs. However, they are hustlers, right? So I said to myself that day that perhaps I was actually an hustler.
Many a time we think we are doing business or we are running a business or a corporate entity, but then most of us build business around ourselves,
Sure.
But when you have a good structure, and I think that was the most striking, thing that I got away with OCN, right? You have to build your business outside of yourself, so that the business can actually flourish.
Definitely.
So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I plan that I'll be bringing co-builders like me who have been doing amazing work in the ecosystem startup environment, building amazing solutions for the Nigerian economy, to scale. So just like you have known me, I'm building Genesis up. So we have my friend here, my very good friend Tony. Tony is an amazing guy. I mean, I used to tell Tony that he's going to be the next Dangote very soon because of his drive, passion for solutions, building amazing things. So I will just have Tony just say one or two things before we get started. So we have amazing things that we will discuss, unravel a lot of rooted issues that most founders face. We've been there, we are building there, we are in that stage. So we've been exposed to some insider tips, things that we will be sharing in this particular episode of this particular session. Sit back and enjoy, right? So Tony, over to you. How has it been?
Hi Sam, it's good to be here, and I do really hope that this session is going to be a helpful one. Yeah, business has been great.
Amazing.
Although, it's not a straight line stuff. So there will always be some ups and downs, rough patches, but all in all, the strength has been there, the drive has been there, and of course, the fact that we can always check out goals every day, update it, and of course, we have a vision we are pursuing, keeps the drive going.
Very interesting that we need to keep the energy to keep steady grinding and to actually continue to pull results, because sometimes we are both in this system together. So sometimes I just feel like, when will this thing end? The unending cycle, the unending, trying to show up every time. How are you doing it? How you?
Sometimes you start questioning your idea. Sometimes you question your decision, and sometimes you ask yourself, what brought you into this? And the fact that a lot of us funders. Maybe we didn't see things, to be as hard as this at the point of entry into entrepreneurship. In some cases, we feel like when we, have an idea, we bring it to limelight, and of course we turn it into business. We thought that the market will just grab the idea, and you blow up, you make money, you impact the society. So before the entry into the journey, there's this thought that everything will just go smoothly, but getting into the journey, you see that things are not exactly the way you thought. But like I said in my opening remark, if you have a solid goal and you have a solid vision, right, there will always be a drive. There's an internal drive within you that wants to get you to achieving those vision, not just for you as an entrepreneur, but to the society at large. Because sometimes when you want to, say, okay, I want to give up, then you look at what is going to be the negative impact of you not pursuing your dream, to the society, because entrepreneurship is all about solving problems, right? So the moment you say you are giving up, it means that you are giving up on your solution to the problem that you intend to solve. Then the question now is, who are you leaving the problem to solve, right? So you are probably exposing, keeping the people, living in that problem, because you have been, given the mandate, or you have given yourself the mandate to solve the problem, and here you are, trying to give up. So when you think about all of these, the consequence of your action on the society, just feel like, God, I can't just give up on this.
There's a dilemma between, do I stop or do I keep going? When you look at the solution you are trying to achieve the impact it will make, and then the whole sum problem that you have to deal with on daily basis.
The truth is, that thought will always come, because entrepreneurship journey is not an easy one. And that's the truth. And of course, the kind of environment we also meet ourselves, right? The economic policies, the political policies, and some basic challenges within the Nigeria and Africa ecosystem, make you to have a second thought about your journey. But like I said, you keep looking at your vision, right? Especially when you have them written down, right? It's fire.
Refresh the energy.
That's just the word.
I think I'll hold on that a moment. So let's try to do let's take it back home a bit. I know so Tony is in the manufacturing space. When you talk about software environment and manufacturing environment, is a different sector entirely. And I know that for us who are in the manufacturing space, it's like we are being sidelined, right? There's something that you can't access, or like the software guys. So how would you say, because you are in this industry, in the manufacturing space, building solutions around power, how has it been? And I know you've also done some businesses in the past, so how will you connect the dots? Like what were your whys? And compared to how you start seeing many other businesses who are in the software accessing opportunities, and how does that make you feel?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sam. And I think we've had this discussion sometimes ago, right? Talking about the people in the manufacturing space, right? So for me, I think one of the major challenge with manufacturing is the fact that the investors, most of them, they are looking for a quick return, right, and one with high return on investment, right? So, but in most cases, manufacturing,
yes,
may not be able to give the investors,
quick return as they expect.
Yeah, unlike the guys in the, tech, sector.
Yeah.
Most of them in the tech sector, for instance, the more they grow in the business, it looks as if their cost of acquiring customers, the cost of operation drops, right? Which further expand the profit margin. But it's not always the case with the manufacturing, right? Because in manufacturing, you have to invest a lot of money.
The more you grow bigger, the more expenses you have to incur.
You have to invest a lot of money into machineries, a lot of assets that will just tie down your money, right? And there are things you can't easily liquidate, and of course they are not working capital that can quickly give you return. For instance, if you bring a 50 million naira into my business, perhaps about 40% of that would go into what's it called now, machineries, right? So those things cannot give you immediate returns, you understand, unlike the working capital. So when such amount is invested in the tech business, the story is quite different. So this makes investors to probably want to go for such kind of business rather than manufacturing. And of course, manufacturing is a huge investment that consumes a lot of money, a lot of money, because you have to look at your working capital, talking of the running cost, the cost of goods, right? Talk of raw materials, production cost, we talk about the machineries and other structures, right? So it's a lot. And we also talk of certifications,
regulations,
approvals, all of these things cost a lot.
And I think that also count as factors why investors run away from the manufacturing sector. And just to also add to the fact that we don't have to argue about who is contributing more to society, right? We all know that manufacturing guys, we employ as far compared to what the software guys are doing. Okay, so now let's do a little twist into this talk. So knowing fully well that these are the things that are at stake, if you are considered to either in the software or manufacturing, you need fund. So looking back, what will you think was your big shift, your big move that gave you a confidence on your business, right, in terms of access to funding? I mean, what was the ticking point, like,
okay,
and what do you do?
I think I will start with this. There's something I always say that for me, right, which I also believe is should be applicable to other funders. Integrity is currency, right? Integrity is currency, right? At the start of my business, right, it was so difficult, and most of the difficulties were around funding. Every business, most business, let me put it that way, face challenges at the beginning. And for me and for Mayor Impact Technologies Limited, the major challenge was around funding, right? However, accessing fund for me at that time was quite difficult. We just had a bit of discussion around how investors, are always skeptical about investing in the manufacturing, especially when you are not at the growing stage, you are still at the idea stage, right? There's a lot of scare. They're always skeptical about it. So for me, I would say one thing that has stood out is integrity, right? Because I can very much remember that when I started, I used a very little of my money, right, that I saved from my previous job. And most of the capital came from my friends, right? And they didn't just give me the money because it is Tony, right? They gave me on the platform that this guy has the integrity, right? Knowing fully well that I won't default repayment. Okay, so for me, integrity is a currency. And the second part is competence, right? It takes someone to see your level of competence to want to invest in what you are doing. Of course, I've not been in that line of business, but because of what they've known about me in the past, they were really ready to, drop some money for me, to kickstart the business. It is only recently that I got my first grant funding opportunity from Orange Corners, Nigeria, right? So I would just say one thing that stood out for me is integrity.
And that's just it. It shows that for every little move that you need to make, at least you must have put your own little efforts down. And most people don't know about this. You just want to go there and just think you'll be able to have access to these funds. People just want to see how much you have put in place. And we acknowledge our friends and families. They've been doing well. Many businesses have emerged.
Of course, definitely. Even as at today, I still have family and friends, helping me out, right? At a growing stage, right, you still encounter some challenges around your finance, especially around your cash flow. Right. There are times that you need an injection of, fund for you to quickly, execute an idea or, to scale your business. I still rely on some of my friends, sometimes, to get all of this done. So they are always amazing. So you have to keep your friends around.
So friends, guys, thank you so much for doing a lot, doing wonders. When there's no hope, there's always a place to run to.
Sure.
So, and just trying to draw it back home, you've been there, you have seen it all from the start, from 0 naira. Now we are doing some transactions. What would you say? I know major impacts, technology has gone to a certain point now, but I understand that before then there must have been some things you would have wished you know before. So what would you say is that thing you would have wished before you set out for major impact?
All right, my one word answer will be structure. Right. Structure may look so simple when you look at it, but then it's an important part of a business, right? For me, I wish I've known about structure in business before the birth of Major Impact Technologies Limited, right? So I would make a reference to one of my mentors, my mentor from Orange Corners, Nigeria, Mr. Adela Adelawa, right? So there was a time we had a session with him, and one of the striking things is said that there are a lot of entrepreneurs who actually think they are entrepreneurs. However, they are hustlers, right? So I said to myself that day that perhaps I was actually an hustler, right? So when I started, it was just me. I do the strategic thinking. I handle the operation. I handle the sales.
360.
I do virtually everything, like everything.
Wow.
Right. And for me, if I'd started with a solid structure, I'm quite very sure that I would have moved faster, right? In terms of my journey, entrepreneurship journey, I would have moved faster. But my experience, my exposure, my learning journey in the recent time has, guided me into putting structures in place. Before this time, I'm not sure I could leave my business for a day, but now I can actually be 2 weeks away, right? And everything will still go smoothly.
And that's just spot on, because many a time we think we are doing business or we are running a business or a corporate entity, but then most of us build business around ourselves,
Sure.
But when you have a good structure, and I think that was the most striking thing that I got away with OCN, right? You have to build your business outside of yourself, so that the business can actually flourish.
Definitely. This thing we are talking about can also lead us into another topic of why many businesses in Nigeria does not outlive the owners, right? They die prematurely, or they don't get to live long. That's because the business is built around the entrepreneur, right? It's built around the individual that owns the business. There is no proper structure in these businesses that can actually run in the absence of the and you get to see that a lot of business just crash off, and along the line they don't get to live long. And I think it's one area that we entrepreneurs, especially the funders now, really need to look into. They don't have to build the businesses around themselves. They need to put that structure in place.
And it has to happen at the right time.
It has to happen at the beginning.
Honestly, I mean, guys, a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge that I know that we have been able to share in this particular episode. And I mean, on ending discussion, I know that we will still have time to bring Tony again to just have a session like this for us to share insights. And I believe that many of my audience would have gained one or two. So thank you so much for your time. And one of the things that I think I can pick out from this particular session is that integrity is very, very key. Structure, you must build structure right now, not tomorrow. And also you should always have someone you can run to, that you can rely on, that can trust you for something. So guys, look out for more of these episodes. And I mean, Tony, any one last word, just one last word for them?
Thank you so much for having me here once again, Sam. Right, so I would just like to speak to the aspiring funders, aspiring entrepreneurs, right? If there's one thing I would tell you, you have your idea in your head, please start now. Just start.
Like Nike will always say, just do it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.